Hello, it's Monday again. I'm back in the workshop after last week's adventure. Hopefully you all saw that video and liked it. It seemed to have done fairly well in comparison to my normal stuff, so it's obviously a popular one. So I'm back in today and I'm cleaning the tow bar up. I've just given it a good wire wheel down. I'm about to put some paint on it and I'm going to go and get a brand new shiny ball of nuts. Oi, oi. Because tomorrow we have the feature. They want to come and photograph it tomorrow, so I'm just doing a couple little beautifying bits. Well, I say a couple. I'm just going to do the tow bar, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to wash it ready for the feature. So I'll take you in on that. But first of all, let's get this painted and then see what else the day brings. Okay, I have painted the bracket and the two arms and the rear of the tow bar bracket. Obviously I need to flip it over and do the front once that's all dried. I fitted a new socket as well. Before it was bolted to the actual tow bar. I don't know why I didn't put it in there when I built the truck, but yeah, I've got a new socket and rewired it and put it in that gap. So yeah, that's that. That should make it look, oh, I also got some new bolts as well for the tow bar, and I've got a new tow ball itself. So that should look a lot cleaner. So I'll wait for this to dry and then I'll get that flipped over, get that painted, and then we can bolt it all back on, ready for tomorrow. I'll be back shortly. All right, so while the tow bar bracket is drying, I've pulled the Smart on the lift, got some of the bits taken off the Smart. We are pretty much ready now, I think, to drop it. The only thing left on are the aircon pipes. I need to make sure there's no gas in it, otherwise I need to get my friend round here and pull out the gas. I'll do that in the morning. I have noticed that my gearbox drive shaft seals are gone, so I need to order a couple of those, but they can be done in situ. That's not going to stop me changing the engine and gearbox. So now, yeah, I think it's just the wiring loom and the aircon pipe, so we'll get onto that come Wednesday. But the tow bar is done and that looks so much better. All bolted back up, new ball, and we are good. So now I've got to clean it within an inch of its life. Well, I'll give it a rinse over, and then I've hoovered out the inside. So yeah, we've just got to clean the outside now, really, and then I think we're good to go. So time to go home because I've got another house to look at. Hello, just got to location for the photo shoot. I've just opened the gate and let myself in. I'm just waiting for the photographer to arrive because we're in the middle of nowhere at my friend's off-road site. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you some goings on. Sorry, I'm squinting, the sun's quite bright this way. But yeah, I've been and cleaned it this morning, given it a polish. So it looks quite nice, but we're now going into a muddy site, so it's probably going to get filthy before it even starts. Anyway, back shortly. So, the day after, the day before, we had the feature done. I didn't really get much because obviously I was driving for quite a bit of it, or in the car. So yeah, I mean, it's not so bad this side, but he wanted me to do some drifts to try and get some stuff flicked up. So it's quite dirty now after I washed it. But anyway, he took those photos, so we'll see when it comes out. If it comes out, I'd imagine it's going to. I can't see they would have gone to all that trouble and not put it in the mag. So fingers crossed it will be in there soon. I don't know when. I think the next one's due out next week, so it won't be in that one. So maybe the one that comes out in December, it might. So we'll see. But anyway, we're back in today. I've got to get the engine out of this Smart. I need to double check the gas in the aircon, and then just get my mate round the corner to come and suck it out if there's some in there. And then, yeah, we'll get the engine out. So let's crack on. Right, so we've got them side by side. So now I need to start moving stuff over. So we've got alternator, we've got power steering pump, we've got full loom, obviously gearbox. I think the rear mount is part of the gearbox, that should be all right. So loom, I need to check on the front, but obviously hoses and stuff that we haven't got, and just check the condition of this. But you can see, I mean, I know they would have jet washed it probably, but it just looks quite a bit cleaner than this one. So that makes me think that 30,000 miles is true. It's not just another one off the shelf and they've used a stock car, but I very much doubt they would. But yeah, so then obviously gearbox, flywheel, etc, etc. So right, no good looking at it, got to get on with it. Quick situation report. Alternator's done, aircon pump's done, belts are done. I'm not too sure on that tensioner. That one, when I undone it, was seized, and as I got it off, I snapped the pin. So I might have to order another one of those. Loom is all done. I've changed every clip because they broke every clip getting everything off. So that's all done. This vacuum pipe's back in. Oh, I've got to put the clip on there. I've just noticed on that one there. As you can see, I've not put the clip up to there, so I'll do that. So I think back of the engine is done. I now need to make sure everything on this side is the same. So I'll quickly put that clip on, move both of these forward, and I'll get to the back. But yeah, I think I'm going to order a new tensioner and the drive shaft seals, I think. Yes, right, let's crack on. Right, we have the flywheel and clutch kit back on the new engine. I'll put the gearbox back on tomorrow morning, so we're going to leave it here tonight. I'm going to go and get a few bits and pieces in the morning, hopefully, and then we'll get back on this then. Right, so when I went to the factories this morning, a new tensioner was 50 quid plus VAT. So I thought I'll drill this out, tap it for an M6, I can cut the head off wherever I need to, and then bolt it to the engine, because it was only this that snapped that caused me a problem. The rest of it's all right. So let's try and get the other one off and hope that doesn't snap. Okay, gearbox is all back on, bolts are all tightened up using my little map of all the bolts. So that's all done. So now we need to position this engine on that pallet because my forklift won't go in this little pallet. So I need to put that on there, and then we can get it under the car and begin the refitting procedure. But I think I might have a coffee first. That's probably a good idea. Right, so I've done the water hoses at the back, the battery lead for the alternator and the starter motor. So now I'm just dropping it a bit at a time. The pallet is slightly in the wrong position, so I've got to move that in a minute. But just moving it down bit by bit, just so I can get it down and start working on the top half. Obviously, I need to try and move that pallet somehow so I can get the engine lifted enough to bolt it in, but we're getting there. So I'll come back to you when I get further. And there we go, we're back in and self-supported on the mounts. So now we've just got to connect everything back up. I've ordered the drive shaft seals. They're not going to be here till tomorrow. So we ain't going to be able to get it running today, but at least we can get everything else bolted up and ready to go, and it's just the drive shaft seals. I'll be happy. So kettle's on, let's have some bite to eat, and then we will carry on. Right, my new drive shaft seals have arrived. Fibby Bilstein 48272, quite a bit cheaper than the Corteco version. So I'm just going to pull them out and put new ones in, and hopefully that will stop our leak going forward. Just a little trick I use to fill the coolant if you're doing a full coolant change. Obviously, if you top it up, you can just use a little bottle, but if you're filling it up all the way, then I just use a jerry can spout and then pour it in like that. Makes it a lot easier. Now I'm just getting the what would you call it, track rod, balancer, I don't know, but the thing that keeps the axle in the right position, you've got to use a ratchet strap to pull the heads together. It's one big horseshoe, so it just needs pulling together so you can get the bolts in. So, right, we're in here. The battery's back on, so I'm now going to put the key in, go through the computer, see if anything comes up, and then maybe we'll go for a start. So I'll let you know in a minute. Well, she's running. She's a bit smoky at the minute, but that could be all sorts. So it's literally just fired up. So I'm just going to lift it up and have a look around, make sure there's nothing leaking. But it's been running for a little while now and it stopped smoking, so that's good. Have got a little exhaust blow though. I'll investigate that at some point soon. I just want to see if it drives first, so I'm going to chuck some wheels back on it. So let's do that. Right, we have a leak. It is pouring out of this pipe here. I've tightened that up as best I can, but it's still pouring out. So I'm going to let it drain back into there. I know I've lost quite a bit already, but I'm going to let it drain out and then I'll see what's going on with that. Obviously that pipe that's probably on the end of the rad isn't much cop, so I just hope I haven't got to buy a bloody rad now as well. So we haven't test driven it. We haven't done anything else other than let this leak out. Joy. If it doesn't rain, it pours, literally. The rad is split. Just past where the hose goes on, it's split. To get the rad out, I've got to take the whole front end off. This car is fighting me all the way, but it starts, it runs. I haven't checked the gears yet, but it goes in neutral, and the 3 lines have gone, which tells me that everything's working. So tomorrow, I'm going to go home now, I've had enough. Tomorrow, I'm going to get this off the lift. I'm going to clear this side of the workshop, and I'm going to take it off the lift and put it over there to get the front end off. I've got to get the Range Rover shell off the trailer tomorrow because my friend who lent me the trailer needs the trailer back. So that's got to be done in the morning. Also, I've got the Mini here that I'm supposed to be doing a pre-MOT check on because it's in for MOT Wednesday and it's now Monday afternoon. So I've got to try and do that tomorrow as well. So yeah, I mean, this isn't vital, but I've got to get it over there to get the front end off because I need the ramp. So yeah, what a pain in the proverbial. So annoying, it's just fighting me all the way. But anyway, hopefully when we get a rad, we'll be good to go. Right, as you saw, that moved on its own steam. It was running really rough to start with, but when I turned around and started backing in, it cleared up and drove in fine. We've got no juddering on the gears. That's all sorted. So I think we've just got to sort this radiator out, sort the tyres out, and we're probably good to go, fingers crossed. Obviously, I'm not taking it down the road yet, so I don't know how well it does go, but, you know, we need to sort a rad out. So it's here, so I can get the front end off and get to the rad. But for today, this is in for MOT tomorrow. This is my brother-in-law's car. I bought this many years ago from the wonderful Copart. As you can see, it's a bit damaged. I chucked a black door on just because the blue one was all stoved in. He really needed a car, so he took it and he's had it ever since. But due to health problems, he had to relinquish his license for a little while. So he's now got it back. It's going in for MOT tomorrow, so I need to go around it, do an MOT check on it and then see what it fails on. I can hear the exhaust is blowing, the brake lights are stuck on, there's a couple of bulbs out, so I need to, you know, practice my MOTs, do a bit of a check round, and then we'll see. So first thing I'll do is have a look at the brake switch, because obviously I'll need to get one of them ordered if it's faulty. I think it might just be pushed in, but we'll see. Right, let's have a look. Right, I've just come under here quickly because I know obviously the exhaust is blowing, so I need to see if I need to order any parts before I do a full walk round. But we can see the exhaust is blown there. It's got a big hole in it, and the bracket is broken, and the bushes are non-existent. They've gone. So we need a new strap and we need a new centre section. I mean, we could probably weld this up or get it welded up, but it's going. It's not going to be too long, is it? So yeah, right, let's get on the case. Right, I've dropped the exhaust down, undone the middle hangers so I can change the bushes. I've found one on the shelf, although one of the bushes is knackered, so I am waiting for a pair of bushes to come. I have bodged the exhaust. Now I know this looks awful, but if it lasts for a couple of weeks, get it through the MOT while we order another one online, because you can get a whole box online for like 70 quid, whereas locally it's 150 odd quid, so it's half price. So if that gets us through the MOT and lasts them a couple of weeks, I can get one ordered, get it back in and just swap it over. So I'm just waiting on the bushes to arrive and then we can hang it back up and then we can get on with the rest of the MOT work. But at least that might get him through. Right, front bumpers off. They're fairly simple. You've got 2 bolts behind here. You've got to pop off the cover first, which has got a locking pin on the side. You get to it when you open the door. You've got 1 down the bottom. You just got to you're supposed to pop the side skirt out, but you can just about get that out to get to the bolt. So there's 1 under there. There is 1 on there. There is 3 across the front, and obviously the same the other side. So that is off. I'm going to pull this light kit off. I don't really fancy that. So that's coming out, and then we'll get to work on the rest of it, I think. Right, so headlights came out. There's 3 bolts on those. 1, 2, 3, yep. Then the crash bar come out. There's 3 bolts on those, both sides. That's come off. And then I've taken the scuttle panel off, and it is just screwed round the edge like that. And then the bits round the wipers just come apart, so it pulls past. So next, I'm going to undo the front panel and see where that all comes off. Right, I've undone all the bolts. I've put the bumper bolts back in, but I've took them back out. And then we have to get it over the wipers. I've just put the wipers back on. Undo these bolts that hold the radiator to the front panel, and then we should be clear with any luck. There was 1 in the bottom at the middle as well. Don't forget that one. So yeah, we're now off, and we can get to the radiator. We've got to separate it from the aircon compressor. No, aircon condenser. Although that's looking very wet, but I don't know if that's just where the water was leaking out and spraying on it. But anyway, that's out. So let's try and get this rad completely out. And there we can see the problem, look. Split all the way around there. So it doesn't matter how tight the hose was, it was still pouring out of this side. So that is done. Right. New brake switch come. Made no difference. There is a diode where the BCM is. Apparently if you take that out and have a look, that's what causes a brake light failure. I took it out. Yes, it has fallen apart. But if you connect the 2 wires up, it's supposed to make it work again. I've connected both the wires up, and it's exactly the same, except when you push your foot on the brake, the lights go off. It's almost like it's round the wrong way, but it's all plugged in correct. There's 4 wires. I don't really know what it could be. People are saying the BCM is a problem, but the brake light switch is working because it senses when you press the brake, the lights go off. As I say, it's like the wiring's round the wrong way. Another thing was the 3rd brake light. Apparently that can cause problems, so I've unplugged that, still the same. So I don't know. So it's going to have to go for its MOT tomorrow with faulty brake lights. At least we can see if anything else needs doing, and then we can decide from there. I'm going to go home, get on the more mini forums or Facebooks and see if anyone else has any other suggestions. But yeah, annoying, but hey. Let's go home, and then tomorrow we'll take it in for a test, let it fail on the brake lights and see what else it needs. Right, looked at the wiring diagrams this morning. It does all go through the BCM. So what I've done is I've purchased a small intermotor brake switch, 2-pin, that one. I have fitted it to the pedal. I've run a couple of cables, so we will test it. So we've got continuity like that. Hang on, I'll probably need the tripod for this. Right, so where was I? I've got continuity set up on the multimeter, and I've got both ends of the wire. So obviously at the moment with no brake pedals put on, there should be no continuity between these. So on there, no continuity. If I hold them together and press the pedal, we've got continuity. So what I need to do is put a fuse on this end, connect these to the brake lights the other end, and we're done. Obviously this can easily be undone because nothing has been modified on the pedal, nothing's changed. It's just literally so they work straight away, and then we can investigate wiring diagrams and try and suss it out. So let's get the rest of it wired up. Right, so they've now got a fused power supply, so the pedal operates the brake lights, which is good. We're not going to take it for a retest right now because he wants to change the whole exhaust. So I've ordered that, so as soon as that's here, we'll fit that and then it can go off for a retest with a new exhaust and the brake lights working. So that'll pretty much nullify most of the advisories. So yeah, another job done. Well, the new exhaust turned up bent as a 9-bob note, as you can probably see from the picture I'll insert here. So I'm trying to straighten it up on the car. What a nightmare. Hello, it is Friday. Yesterday the exhaust turned up for the Mini and I fitted that and that went back for its retest and that was that. As you saw, it was pretty well bent when it arrived, but we managed to straighten it out. But anyway, today the rad and the condenser have turned up for the smart car. So we're going to get that stripped down. Refitted, sorry, after being stripped down. Hopefully get this on the move. But today, well, that's going to happen today, but also today, or yesterday should I say, the van turned up. So we have the van. I'll take you around it and show you in a little while when the rain disperses, because it is absolutely hideous outside today. So anyway, let's get cracking on this and get this done first, so at least we can then move this out the way, park this over here, so we've got access to the ramp to do other stuff. So let's crack on. New rad, new condenser, all in, all buttoned up. So I think now it's time to put the front panel back on, and then we can start building that back up. So let's get on with that. Okay, we're back together. I'm just running it up to see what we do coolant wise, but we should be all right. I went to get, well, I was going to take that tyre to come off that wheel and put it on the original, but it's, when I looked, it's smaller, so it's no good. So I still need to get some tyres for it. But it's idling happy now. We'll, I mean, it's horrible weather, but I will take it out for a little drive in a minute once I pump that tyre up. Put the bonnet back on. I just want to let it get up to temperature and make sure it's all right. But at the minute, all's good. Right, I had it running for a little while and then I've bled the head. You see that clip there and that pipe. You pull that off, fill the header tank till it starts pouring out of there and put it back on. So theory, we should be bled now. So let's test it. Right, I've just been up and down the road in it. It's fine. It's bloody quick actually. I've never had a turbo one before, but the 1 litre turbo shifts. Especially in this weather, it was bringing the traction control on constantly. So yeah, it gets along a bit. I've just pulled the hose off the top of the head again and coolant's pouring out of there, so I know that that's bled. I'm just letting it now cool down after a little run, just to top it up if I need to. I've just dipped the oil and that's still clean and full, so hopefully we are all good. I just need to sort out some tyres now and give it a damn good clean. So yeah, so I think that's that for this car for now, until I carry on using it a bit more and put some miles on it really, and then decide whether I'm going to keep it or whether it's going to be for sale. I mean, I'm probably going to lose money on it, all the money I've put into it now, but because I've got that, and because I've got that, and because I've got, well, that, although that's, I'm trying to get rid of that. Yeah, and the Jag, there's only so many cars I can keep. I mean, this is obviously a tool and it'll be handy. This will be used for off-roading and towing, even though the Transit's got a tow bar on, but obviously it can't tow the weight that can. So will I use this for every day? I don't know. But anyway, I've got to put the back end back on. I might stick it up on the ramp, just have a little look around it. The only problem is it is drenched at the minute, so it's probably not worth it at the moment. Probably best just to put the rear end on and then use it and then bring it in when it's dry so I can see if there's anything leaking, because obviously at the minute it's just full of water. So yeah, that's that. So for the last 2 weeks, I think I didn't publish last week's video because I didn't have enough because I was busy. Well, I was busy doing things that weren't of interest here, so yeah. So next week I'll show you around the Transit. What else have I got to do next week? A couple of bits and pieces, but anyway, I'll show you that next week once I've put some miles on it this weekend, because we're doing a boot sale, so that's going to come in handy for that. And then we'll get some miles on the smart car. So again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully this rain will disappear and you'll be able to enjoy it. I'll catch up with you soon.